If you're a creative, you may have noticed a recent trend over the last year or two where photographers have been downgrading their cameras, even to the extent of going back to film. Peter McKinnon, I think, is a great example of somebody who has built an entire brand and following around the idea of being a creative. And in that, he's had a conversation for years about new updated tech, new cameras, new lenses. But even he, somebody who is working with these brands, picked himself up a Leica last year and then now is doing this whole film photography journey. And for a period of time, I just looked at it as trends. So like these creators are doing things for trends and that's it. And I don't understand it. Why the fuck would I go buy a $5,000 Leica when I have like thousands of dollars of other camera gear? Like my Sony a7 IV takes amazing photos and I already have it. Why would I go out and buy something else for double to triple the cost? But over the last year, I've been more intrigued. I've been more interested. Earlier this year, I was keeping an eye out on if Fuji would ever restock theirs, and even all the way to the extent of really contemplating just biting the bullet and getting a Leica. And then I spent a weekend in Chicago with my buddy Jayhawk, who has a Leica Ghost, and it made more sense. All the way to the extent where I went, picked up myself this small point and shoot compact Ricoh GR3 street photography camera. At least that's what it's advertised. It's just a point and shoot camera that emulates a film look. Let's just be real. But I've had this for a month now and I've used it a couple times and it's all starting to make sense to me. We're fucking spoiled. Like, dude, every camera nowadays, from Sony to Canon to not, it's absurd. Even your entry level cameras, they do everything now. There used to be a period in time where like we were waiting on all these new things. We were waiting on 4K 120. We were waiting on being able to record RAW. We were waiting on 6K and an 8K. And like now it's here. The tech is available. And don't get me wrong, when you do something for a living and you have to capture something for somebody else, these tools are fucking phenomenal. If I worked for a multi-million-dollar company and I had to make sure every single day I had to capture a moment and my autofocus and colors and size and pixels had to be perfect so I could scale and crop and edit. We're in a world nowadays where those jobs get done. The tech is here. But it takes away from why we even started in the first fucking place, right? Most of us creatives started on things like this. I mean, not actually like this. This is a high sensor. This is like a really good camera. Like obviously a much cheaper version of this, but nonetheless, as creatives, we all had to figure out a way to work with what we had to have a result that we were inspired by in the first place. We had to utilize the tools to capture the moment that we wanted to capture. And nowadays, cameras just kind of do it. Like, look at this, man. Like, it's nice knowing that I'm making this video on my Sony FX3, and like I know the shot, it's gonna look good. It's a Sony FX3. It's a cinema camera in my hands, in my house. Like 20 years ago, you had to spend a lot of fucking money to get this quality on a set of a major production film. Here it is, in some selfish creator's fucking loft of his house. I mean, we're seeing it in many other aspects right now. Like, I just bought this cinema vintage lens. I also have a anamorphic lens, where both of these lenses are 100% manual. There's nothing autofocus about these. They give you obviously a different quality and a different look, but I remember it was just a few years ago, everything, literally everything was about autofocus and just making sure your camera can do the work for you and can get the shot. And now in 2023, everything's about like, fuck that. Like, I want to control it. I want to get it myself. I want to know that I earned that little bitch. I think it's the same relation that could be said when it comes down to the photography. Why so many of us creatives are indulging and interested and kind of like taking a step back and challenging ourselves, because like at the end of the day, we just love creating. I think ultimately you could summarize it up as a lot of us individuals have finally become successful in whatever field we wanted to become successful at. And now we're just kind of fucking bored because this thing that we did as a craft and for fun became a job and then it became repetitive. That's a pretty simplistic way to summarize it, and probably just a good negative aspect to just look at the whole trend from. However, what I want a lot of people to think about here is a lot of you and many other up and coming creatives, people that are finding that passion in photography and videography, you're not restrained by not having this gear. We are quite literally seeing an era of your most successful photographers and videographers that I know a lot of you look up to are taking steps back to make it more challenging. They're using less automatic gear. They're using devices that are harder to actually acquire the shot and give a bit of a challenge. I don't know how much more proof that you need to show that you don't have to wait for that perfect fucking camera. You don't have to wait to save up for that $2,000 lens. You don't need a cinema camera to start. You can quite literally start on your fucking iPhone. So at this point, what is stopping you? What is holding you back from just picking up a fucking camera and doing the thing that you want to do? By the way, I should probably do a dedicated video on this. It's actually really sick. Like, look how small this is. One thing I love about this is like, I'm really big on the idea of like getting away from my phone lately. Like, I have all my social media on my iPhone, and I got this new Apple Watch and put a cellular plan on this. So that way I can literally just leave my house and my phone's right here. I don't have to bring my phone with me with all my distractions, all the social and all the scrolling. And like, now I can just go with my watch and a camera, and this is it, man. This is it. This is like me walking around for a day with some friends, putting it in the pocket, phone on the watch, like spoiled. That's all we are. That's all anybody is nowadays. Embrace it. Stop pretending. It's fucking disgusting. We are all spoiled, man. We live in an era where you wake up in a nice insulated house and you roll over and you scroll on you're instantly connected to like tens of thousands of people. Like, no more loneliness. Yet somehow we're lonelier than ever. It's like, dude, fucking, we are spoiled. But hey, nothing really wrong with that. It just shows that as a species, I guess we're not doing that bad. But yeah, I had the opportunity to take this out, shot it in some low light situations. As you see here, the fucking photos are phenomenal. I mean, it just gets the job done. Also, I don't do this much. I really wanted to go out of my way and thank you guys for all the support on that MacBook video, and welcome all the new subs if you're watching this. I've been creating content for years, and this is me. This is my personality. This is how I am. And for years, I've like gotten better at making videos, and I've been able to make popular for my size videos. Obviously, we didn't get subs from nothing, but there was always like a disconnect where I just felt like I was producing a good video for YouTube, but I wasn't doing a good job at showcasing who I really fucking am for YouTube and like how I really feel about that. Everything was really scripted and kind of butchered down. And so to see a video that's, related to this idea of talking about a specific product and just being my authentic self and seeing the response, it's really refreshing. It's very encouraging. I'm kind of like pumped to kind of be making more of that connection and just move forward and build more content and videos around just being me and kind of showcasing things that I'm fucking into, things that I'm interested in, to see if it creates a conversation. I think at the end of the day, that's all this really is just trying to use YouTube, TikTok, Instagram to create a conversation through video. And maybe some of you guys would want to indulge or not. Maybe you just want to fucking hate on the video, which either way drives a lot of fucking traffic to my page. So thank you. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm out. Peace. Deuces.